What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. It's me and my brother here, D the Tech Guy. Got me playing in the background. It's famous, right? My man with me, D the Tech Guy. And there is some more tantalizing, juicy rumors that came out regarding the Project Scorpio and its specs. Now, before we get into the new stuff, the new specs that came out today, leak specs, rumored. The white paper, D, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for those that may not know or may have not been caught up to what's going on, um, spec like what the white what basically what was the white paper saying? In layman terms,
Well,
like
the white paper was basically telling the white paper is like for the developers and whatnot, telling them what they've discovered with the hardware that they're building, the different techniques, the different methods of making games, of achieving 4K 60 frames per second, or they had also sparse rendering in there, checkerboard rendering, the different ways of using the power that's available to them, and the white paper was just guidelines and suggestions of things that they found in the system. Now, like I was telling many people on my videos, is that the white paper was number one from July, which was a long time ago. That was 1 month after the Xbox Scorpio reveal, and that things tend to change quite often. Like I was saying to some on the other podcast we did the other day, that on NeoGAF, a developer was on there saying that the papers that he has are more current than those ones, and some of the things have changed, and that some things are more likely to change closer to launch. And then bam, today we get this.
okay. Well, like I said, today, like I said, first of all, have you? I've seen you the link, right? Have you
Uh-huh.
seen you? Now, like I said, we take all this with a grain of salt. Do you think this can be like? First of all, what do we have here? What are we looking at?
Okay, so what we're looking at, according to this leak today, is a total memory of 13 gigabytes. So it's going to have 12 shared of GDR5X and 1 gigabyte of DDR3. And the DDR3 is, for the apps, if you're using picture in picture and just to get to the app quickly. The GPU, they say it's going to be using Vega, and they have it at 6.3 teraflops. That's an increase over Microsoft's 6 teraflops. And Microsoft could be just being modest, rounding it down to 6 teraflops. But according to this, it's 6.3 teraflops. It's got 130 TMU. It's got 130 ROPS. It runs at 950 megahertz. It's GCN 4.0, which is the latest. And now it also says that it's based, the CPU is Ryzen, and it's customized by Microsoft. Now, that's the most interesting thing, because the day before, when Digital Foundry made its speculation based on a throwaway comment in the white paper where they said, they can use the CPU at 30 hertz, the GPU at 60 hertz in order to get 4K 60 frames per second. And like I said, that could just simply be Microsoft giving leverage to the developers, giving them more tools to obtain 4K 60 frames per second by any means necessary. It didn't necessarily mean that it was going to be using a weak CPU. Now, like I said, this is CPU is going to be Ryzen, customized by Microsoft. Now they're going to have a dedicated audio DSP chip, and it's once for compression and decompression. So you're going to have optimal audio quality off of the Scorpio, according to this leak. And the SoC is built on 14 nanometer, so it should be able to overclock well. Now, on the bottom of the leak here, it says the global power teraflops is at 6.5 and 7. Now it says choosing a 14 nanometer SoC will enable better dissipation of heat generated by the new console, which also allows it to achieve superior performance to reach 7 teraflops, increasing the clock frequency of the processor from 950 megahertz to 1200 megahertz. The idea is to phase this in, is to test this right now. They're doing it and testing it. They're phasing it out to see if it can be stable. So it's excellent that it's doing 6.3 teraflops. It's more than the 6 teraflops that we expected. And right now they're overclocking it because it's on 14 nanometers. So the heat dissipation is much better. It's a much more efficient SoC. A die, I should say. So they're able to overclock it higher, and they said by putting it up to 1200 megahertz, they were able to reach 7 teraflops of compute performance. That's outstanding. We don't know if it's stable because according to this leak, they're still kind of testing it, but Microsoft on the original Xbox One towards closer to launch, they actually did upclock the CPU and they were able to get more out of it. So I don't know. It's very interesting. It's very exciting to hear this news, especially after Digital Foundry coming out the other day and trying to rain on Microsoft's parade. And I have to say, if these specs are true, this system is a lot more powerful than the PS4 Pro.
Well, how much are we talking about here, Dean?
How much more
Are we
power? Well,
talking about specs on paper, or are we going to be talking about real world performance here?
no, real world performance because you're using a next generation CPU. You're using Ryzen. That is like the latest technology. Like this Ryzen CPU is making Intel sweat in their panties. Ryzen is going to be an excellent CPU, and we know Vega is going to be excellent as well. With new architecture, there's new ways of doing things. So they always become a lot more efficient, and they're able to get a lot more out of the hardware, obviously with the new architecture.
Okay. Let me ask you a question here. All right, we're talking about tech for dummies here. So, in your honest opinion, of these specs or rumored spec, like I said, first take it with a grain of salt. This may be a bunch of mumbo jumbo for all we know. We're just breaking down what came out. Same that we did with the white paper. But what's the most no. Let me say it like this. Out of the Vega and the Rising, first of all, what has you or are you most surprised about? And what's more important? Is it them going with the Vega, GP, or can they just went with Polaris and Ryzen, or the console will be better if they went with Vega and to say Jaguar, or not Jaguar, Puma.
Yeah, the Ryzen CPU should be able to feed that GPU excellently for it to be able to achieve 60 frames per second. Now, this running the CPU at 30 hertz and running the GPU at 60 hertz, this could be a trick that Microsoft is giving the developers in order for them to enable higher fidelity in 4K. So instead of it just being, a higher resolution of 4K, that procedure that was in the white paper might actually help the Xbox Scorpio produce much better textures, just better textures.
Oh, damn. So I mean, in your honest opinion, this is your thing here with these techs and GPUs and CPU. Would games noticeably look better on the Scorpio compared to the Pro?
Oh, heck yeah, man, definitely. Well, the CPU right there, because like I said, the Ryzen CPU has so many more advantages over a Jaguar. So they're gonna have a much higher draw call, that's for sure. DX12 is completely gonna take advantage of that. So yes, it's gonna make a difference for sure.
Uh, is it going to come down? But you see here, well, according to this link here, and they're having it says here the estimated price for the new Xbox will be around 549. Do you in American and 549 in Europe? That's the pounds in Europe, whatever the case. But do you think? Not do you think? Will they have? Well, yeah. Will they have a problem asking for this type of price tag with these
No,
specs here?
no. If it's doing 6.5 to 7 teraflops and it has a Ryzen CPU, no, they're not going to have a hard time getting that price. It's going to have 12 gigabytes of GDR5X, and it's like the system's going to be pretty sweet. At 550, I could see a lot of PC guys saying, you know what? Instead of me spending a G Note or $1,200 to build, a semi decent PC, this Xbox is looking mighty attractive. Because seven teraflops, like right now, you can get 4K 60 frames per second some games, not all games, at like 6 teraflops, 5.5 teraflops on a PC. Now I'm not saying all games, like sports games, certain titles. Now you have like a GTX 1080, which is if I believe it's like around 8.5, close to 9 teraflops, something like that. And that GPU is doing 4K 60 frames per second on the majority of games. Now we've been over this so many times. In a console, it's a lot more optimization going on. So 7 teraflops inside of a console that is designed just to play video games, that's not going to have any wasted resources, and that the developer only has to target that system. And to be honest with you, it's kind of a non-existent issue with because these games are UWP going forward, it's going to perform well. It's going to perform well. And this is also good for PC gamers out there too, because these games are going to scale up nicely for the PC guys as well. But seven teraflops is definitely enough to get with the Ryzen CPU, is definitely enough to get 4K 60 frames per second on the majority of games. I don't see it being a problem.
Even within like I said, the console is a closed environment, right? And like I said, developers are able to target those set specs, and you don't have, like you do with a PC, a bunch of things eating up the console, the PC's resources, like such as Windows. Windows is such a system, a resource hog. But
yeah, and just to touch on that for those that don't understand that, Windows Insiders right now is pushing out an update this week. I don't know. I got to check to see if I got it. But this week they're pushing out an update that will enable game mode on PC. Now, if PC wasn't eating up resources and it was so optimized, there'd be no need for them to put a game mode on PC. But yet, Microsoft is testing that out to try to get the PC to perform similarly to like an Xbox. Because an Xbox, it's optimized. It does not waste resources like a PC. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay, damn. All right, thank you, Mike. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but that is a good point. A lot of people don't know that. You know what's great? Not to say I don't know that, but one of the things that consoles do have in their advantage, for far as games, and how they're able to make games like Forza Horizon with only 1.3 teraflops, of compute power, and the game looks that great. You know what I mean? And if you would take the same PC with the same set specs, as far as teraflops, it would look in nowhere as good or run as good as that. You know what I mean? For, like I said, optimization. But according to this here, again, with these, it is to these leaks here, or these spec, whatever the hell these are, that they're supposed to have a road to Xbox or X-Fan Fest or some shit, that we may see the console as early as between March and May. You know what I mean? And then, of course, you got the E3, and they talk about Gamescom. They also talked about there's some other rumors floating around that Project Dark Zero, the game with the girl, that Rare made.
Perfect Dark or something.
Yeah, Perfect Dark Zero. There you go. They're supposed to be making a more mature game, and they're using the Shanghai Heights. They're using the Shanghai Heights, the resource, that they didn't use for the actual game. And they're gonna, I guess, it's gonna be made off of that. That's something else that's floating around out there. You know what I mean? Did you see E3 2013?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember they showed you the little title, Shanghai Heights, working title in progress, or whatever the hell the case may be.
Yeah, I remember it briefly.
Okay. Well, they're taking those same stuff they had there and making that into the new Perfect Dark Zero. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Third person action. Kind of dark, very mature, which I think will be dope. Like a female version of Splinter Cell or some shit, or Metal Gear, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Oh, we got Dealer in here. Hey, Dealer.
Trying to figure out why I'm in here. What's going on?
They caught you at that Trump meeting, motherfucker. We didn't answer.
I got a random fucking.
You with him or her?
I got a link on Facebook randomly, and I go ahead and accept it. And I'm like, well, Beastfire's not today. What's going on?
Yeah, no, but we're talking about, though, they got some more specs.
Oh, you live right now?
Yeah, we live.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, we got some more leak specs. Actually, let me give it to you. Are you on your phone? Can you see, or
don't bother, man? Just kind of run it by me. What's going on?
Okay, well, it's on Reddit. So these are some leaks, Scorpio specs. They say a total memory of 13 gigabytes, 12 shared GDDR5 times, and 1 gigabyte DDR3 for app and standby. The GPU is Vega, it's 6.3 teraflops. It's got 130 ROPS or something, 950 megahertz. That's GCN 4.0. The CPU is based on Ryzen, customized by Microsoft. And they have a dedicated audio DSP chip, one for compression and decompression. The SoC is built on 14 nanometers. and they said the global power is the teraflops, I guess, with the CPU is 6.5. And they also say that because it's on 14 nanometer, they were able to dissipate the heat better. So they were able to overclock it to 1200 megahertz. And when they did that, they got 7 teraflops of performance. And they're testing this right now to see if, they can keep it there.
Wow. So where's
And
this leak
they
coming
also
from?
said the choice of GDR5X memory was the best for performance, latency, and bandwidth, especially for power consumption.
Yeah, I just figured if it's 12 gigs of GDDR5X, it'd be higher memory bandwidth than 320, though.
Yeah.
Who knows, though? Where's this leak coming from?
Some Latin, some site from overseas.
He said some Latin motherfucker.
Yeah, some site from overseas, but then it got put on Reddit, and from there, it spread like cancer.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's accurate, I was actually thinking something today with, how in the white papers, Digital Foundry confirmed like 4x boost to level 2 cache and all that to the CPU, all that stuff, right? That in itself is very telling that we're not just getting the same Jaguar that's just strictly overclocked.
Yeah, they're totally speculating up their ass. Like, okay, you know what? Okay, I don't want to be so harsh. Maybe it was a good guess, but it's nothing definite. There was nothing in that paper that suggested that. I was telling NextGen earlier that simply could be a tool for them to get to 4K 60 frames per second and able to use higher fidelity, assets in the game. It could be like just a tool for them. It doesn't say anything about the specs,
Yeah. Yeah, and some people, that's why we cover a lot of this stuff over and over. And we use different examples because I got a comment yesterday, and it's not that the guy is just dumb, but some people just don't know that because the game's in 4K, that doesn't mean it has 4K textures. That's completely different.
Yeah.
So, someone's like, well, Skyrim's 4K, right? Like it has 4K textures. I'm like, no, that's the frame buffer. That's the resolution. The textures themselves are probably around not even close to 4K, and that really is a divider there when it comes to what you're seeing on screen.
Yeah, but
Well, what do you think about those specs, though, dealer? If these turn out to be accurate, and they're saying that they can clock it to 1200 megahertz, and they're able to get 7 teraflops of performance in a console with Ryzen.
Man, I'm just gonna expect 6. Like I said, I think 6 is still. People are like it's only 40% faster, right? And I'm like, okay, well, let's take the example of the base X1, the base PS4. Let's say, what's 40% of $10? Okay, well, that's $4. Okay, well, now we've upgraded. What's 40% of $100? Oh, that's $40. Okay, well,
Yeah,
it's the same 40%, but that's still a lot more.
of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? Like it's not the same. It does just because it's still 40% doesn't mean it's only 15 frames per second advantage like the PS4 had of the X1. It is around 40 to 60 FPS boost over the PS4 Pro. That's how much it's multiplied. So, and not to mention the 12 gigs of RAM. That's the real divider with, like I said, the 4K textures. It isn't just a Pro. And that L2 cache, as I just said, is kind of evidence that they're not running the same CPU, just up clock. Jaguar cores don't go much higher than 2.1 gigahertz anyway, and they've already hit that threshold with the PS4. So I'm guessing, like I've said before, a Puma, or who knows, maybe still a Ryzen. But either way,
Yeah,
it's
like
much better.
I'm still thinking I'm holding out for Ryzen because I don't want Microsoft to be doing a Nintendo here and just being stupid. Like, do not put a fucking Jaguar or Puma in this. For this system to be successful, like if it has the Ryzen CPU, has the Vega GPU, it's checking all the tick marks, man.
But then again, man, with the new technologies like on the interpolation on the CPU side and all that shit, we can't use the rules of the past to define what hardware can do anymore with some of this new technology. So it doesn't matter what's in it. Like someone said on the Xbox Nation, it could be a fucking gerbil. As long as you don't mind gerbil shit falling out of your Xbox, right? It's still
No,
going to be substantially better than what you've got.
definitely. But just having, I understand what you're saying, and I agree 100%. But just by having the Ryzen in it, it's like sticking your foot in the throat and just saying, "Yeah, take that."
You little bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty excited either way, guys. That's kind of my take on it. It really doesn't fucking matter.
Well, Well, I don't know. Well, before we get up, I'm gonna ask you about the price tag. Do you have a problem? So they're saying, according to these specs, this leak, that they're looking at a 549 price tag. What are your thoughts about that, Dylan?
Oh, I mean, if it's 7 teraflops, that's justified, in my opinion.
Yo, what's up, people?
Oh shit!
What's up?
Oh man, you guys started the party without me. I smelled tech talk in the air. I thought it was the spaghetti I was making. Man, like I knew something smelled good, man. What are you guys getting into right now?
What we talking about? What you guys put me on. I don't get up till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, man. I'm gonna get over here. So when I hopped, on Twitter, they posted a couple links, of course, and we're talking about these new quote unquote heavily rumored leaked specs or documents for Project Scorpio. Now, of course, you had the white paper from Digital Foundry. That
the white
basically,
paper.
it didn't discount the fact that they were going to be using Vega, but they were still saying, basically, it may still be a variant of Jaguar. It wasn't going to be using the Ryzen, CPU. And we had the backlash from that with the sparse rendering and all this shit here. Now we got these new rumored specs, and it's saying basically that this thing is gonna be much more powerful than 6TFLOPS, which also too, and from the coalition guy, what's his name? He said that the Scorpio is much more powerful than they first expected. Also,
Yeah, that was Frank O'Connor from 343.
I'm sorry. There you go.
Even better
so,
though.
like,
343 has been around. They've been doing real shit for a while. So
yeah.
And then you got the Ori developer also saying that the Scorpio is a next
that Ori
generation console.
developer, that was some shit right there, right?
Yeah,
He said that was some shit right there, right? I love
Yo, he came out on Twitter like, in the article, but the article hit Twitter like fucking wildfire, and it was like half-assed, yo. Basically, the PS4 Pro is half-assed compared to Scorpio. I don't know. When it comes to the overall power, when we're talking T flip-flops and all that good stuff, I expect it to be over 6TFLOPS. I think when they said 6TFLOPS, that was the minimum. So, once the developers got the dev kits and stuff, they'll look into it and be like, oh shit, there's actually more here. You know what I'm saying? In terms of that white paper bullshit, like people don't realize when that
wasn't bullshit though, man. I mean,
no, but the way it was spun is absolute bullshit.
The speculation on the CPU side was that was
all right. Now, when they came out with that paper, it was 2 weeks after E3, right? Right. That was pretty much when that white paper document went out to developers and stuff like that. Now, that was before the Pro was unveiled, and if you think about the developer community, with the Pro coming out first, all this talk was about, like, in the background, had to be about checkerboard and upscaling and new techniques to do that. Of course, Microsoft wanted to be in on that table and be like, not for anything, but with the Scorpio, if you don't want to do native 4K, we have this for you right here. We have this for you right here. And it's like, guys, remember, this is an Xbox One family of devices. So please remember to take into account that the other Xboxes have embedded static RAM. All right. And to have the games perform well on the other two Xbox Ones, you got to kind of develop with that embedded static RAM in mind as well. That's basically what the white paper was like, and everybody just went insane about it, man.
Now, what the white paper said was you still want to continue to optimize for ESRAM, which, by the way, how you feel about that disappeared? I remember talking to you about that. You didn't think you thought it would still be in there, right?
No, well, I thought because I was looking at the future of AMD, man. I'll give you your props, dude. But what I thought was they're going to replace that with the HBM. I thought there was going to be
that shit's way too expensive and way too high bandwidth.
But we were projecting, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, the price could really drop, and maybe they'll throw that in there. But no.
Yeah, what the white papers, man, basically they were saying, hey, optimize for ESRAM because base model, the Xbox One's going to be the base model for at least 5 more years, in my opinion. And what they were saying was the bandwidth of the Scorpio is such that even if you don't port your games and use dynamic scaling or dynamic graphics, like Witcher 3, for instance, in the dialogue scenes, they were actually activate HBAO, ambient occlusion. They raise the resolution, they up the texture detail and the geometry. The lighting is increased as well, and that's all automatic because it detects that it has that overhead. That's an example of what you're going to see going forward with a lot of games that don't just get PC ported Scorpio versions. They're just going to actually enable that. And the natural bandwidth of that 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 is actually going to mitigate any ESRAM problems anyway. It's fairly automatic is what they're saying in those papers. And it's very interesting.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying games that may have been a dynamic resolution. I think
they will be pinged to the max all the time now.
Yeah.
Halo 5,
was it 1080 to the max or 4K to the max?
No. Any settings that the developers had initially enabled, like I said, Witcher 3 in the dialogue scenes, it's 1080p, HBAO is activated. All those settings are activated because it knows it has overhead to work with. Just in the dialogue, when you go into gameplay, it downres the 900p on the base Xbox One. On Xbox One S, it's actually 1080p during gameplay a lot of times, I noticed. But it'll downres the gameplay. You don't have that HBAO anymore, and some of those details are lowered. But like I said, if you've got the overhead, it should run all that stuff ramped up all the time in game while you're playing on Scorpio naturally because of the dynamic scaling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Same for Titanfall, dynamic resolution. Same for Resident Evil 7, dynamic resolution. All that stuff will be pinged out to the max, just like Halo 5, all the time on Scorpio. And that's if it doesn't get its own optimized PC port for the Scorpio.
Dealer, it was just so funny when that whole white paper document thing came out. There were so many armchair tech experts out there on Twitter and Facebook. They know this, they know that, and I'm just laughing because I was like, "Yo, oh my goodness, man!"
Yeah, they're a bunch of turds. I had one tell me yesterday that PS4 had 8K textures in it.
I saw that.
Since 2013, bro.
Stupid. The best thing that I'm hearing from these guys, you can tell they're getting desperate, is that PS5 is going to get revealed at E3.
Well, see, that's the thing, guys. No matter what's going on, like I don't necessarily believe, the specs that have been quote unquote leaked today and all that good stuff. But what I'm seeing here is, love Xbox or hate Xbox. That Scorpio hype train is like full speed right now. Everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to hear news about it. Like it is funny as hell. Like it's the year of the Scorpio. Exactly what Aaron Greenberg said. Yeah.
Yeah. The idiots will be like, what do you mean it's the year of the Scorpio? You're like, yeah, this year it comes out, idiot. It's the year of the Scorpio. You fucking moron. I didn't ask you for the month of the Scorpio. I asked you what year the Scorpio came out in.
I have a question I haven't spoken to you since Tuesday, dealer, but it was something that we talked about yesterday on the multiplayer podcast. So of course we had we talking about the white papers, right? And it seems like it never fails. Seems like when they're not saying any bad news about the Xbox, but maybe some positive news when you come out. If you had Phil tweet out, he played this first game on Scorpio or whatever the case, looks great, and then boom, something negative. And you got Digital finally pull the shot of the ass crack. So he was this is E3, and he decided to pull it out right after Phil sends the tweet about he played this first Scorpio game, right? Like speechless. This shit is crazy, right? So when I say this, like I got the tinfoil hat on, and I'm dealing with the conspiracy theories. But he had this paper since E3, but he pulled it out his ass right after Phil, an hour or so after he said that tweet about playing his first game on the Scorpio. Boom. I said yesterday, sometimes Microsoft could be the own worst enemy, and here's the thing. If it's not using Jaguar, not saying you have to divulge what specs are going to be inside, not saying, to show your hand, but just come out, no, we're not using Jaguar, thank you. Just come out and say it. You're not using it. Just shut all the fucking, this shit gets rampant, and people's...
I agree. Say, hey, we've got some next level shit. Do not worry. And the closest he said to that is the keyword is balance, meaning nothing's going to bottleneck the other part. In my opinion, that's what that means. That's what balance is in a PC build. That's the very definition.
Like they just too goddamn cryptic. He's like fucking Bruce Wayne. What the fuck? Like, Batman. Like, what the fuck? Who? Batman. You know what I mean?
Well, he's playing a tough game there because like if you stay encrypted and stuff like that, and you don't you don't just squash it, and you're trying to ride the hype until the unveiling. I mean, that could derail.
Listen, I'm with you what you're saying, but what I'm saying is we talking about Jim Crow laws here. Shit ain't equal here. This ain't the land of the free, the milk and honey. Shit has always been biased towards Mike. This generation has been always been skewed more or less in Sony's favor. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know. So
in last generation, it was because Microsoft paid everyone off. That's the only reason, you know, like
whatever goddamn case may be. So, but what I'm saying by them being quiet all the time and trying to take the quote unquote higher road, they still gonna throw shit at them regardless. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So you know what? Just come out, you cut the book. Hey, fuck it. That's what I'm trying to say. Be the fucking behemoth that you are. If you got this motherfucking nuclear missile you sitting on, nah, motherfucker, we ain't using Jaguar.
I would love to hear Phil say it exactly like that. By the way,
what'd you say?
I want to hear Phil say it exactly like that. Yo, the way
you come out that motherfucker full of crap, get your Hollywood Hulk Hogan on.
Bro, like I said, bro, the 4X of L2 cache alone is almost confirmation that it's not Jaguar.
Hey, listen, H.A. Dealer, you are a tech guy. You're fucking, this is what you do. Johnny fucking Bravo. But you talking about to the Hicks and the Spicks with fucking drinking Mountain Dew and eating fucking corn chips all goddamn day. You know what I mean? You told the motherfucker told you yesterday that the PS4 got 8K textures. You understand what I'm saying? See, you what you call the minority here. You know what I mean? They're more.
You understand my? I mean, hell, we all understand each other's struggles then, because we're just going off like literally stuff we're linking in the description. They're like, you're just a fanboy because you called us out for touting power for 4 years and
but that's all they talked about for 3-4 years is power.
Exactly.
That's what. Listen, okay. So I'm saying this. That's what I don't understand. I had a live stream the other day. I normally don't go off on the comment section. Whatever. I didn't go off, but I was just saying, well, you guys talking about power. What games are the Scorpio going to have? They're going to have those same fucking multi-plats that you guys have been fucking prating around and dancing about for the last 3 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And by the way, we can take Nino Kuni off those lists that you guys for some reason brag about, because that's been confirmed to be coming to PC.
Oh, and also too, you could take Ace Combat 7 off that list because that's been confirmed for Xbox One as well.
Yeah, and I told everybody when I reviewed that piece of shit conference, I said they said exclusive PSVR support, not exclusive title for the PS4.
I'm not into Ace Combat games. That's not my thing.
It looks good. I mean, you should really look at the footage. It does look a lot better than all the other ones.
Oh, I just can't, bro. I just can't drive them motherfuckers. I'll be flying upside down. I couldn't. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm the biggest fucking Xbox fanboy there was at the time. Crimson Sky. I couldn't fly that goddamn plane for shit. I would fly in the walls. I would just hop on that
playing Battlefield. Somebody slams into a cliff with a plane
and just fly that bitch. Like, oh god, he must be black the way he's driving. I'll be flying I'll fly over the fucking cliff and poosh, I can't tell up, but then I can't do them shit. I can't drive them goddamn airplane games. I can't. I wish I could. I bought flight sticks and all types of shit. I ain't got the hand-eye coordination or something.
I turned autopilot on, that bitch still crash. I just can't do it.
Yo,
I can't do them.
Yo,
those that like it, what do you say, bro?
My bad. I was gonna say, did you guys see the comparison of the kind of like Last Kingdom Hearts remix that's coming out for the comparison between the PS4 vanilla and then the PS4 Pro?
No,
because I'm still in that whole half-ass thing, and it's like, wow, yeah, yo, on the vanilla PS4, it runs at like 900p, and I forgot the frames per second.
How? It's a 3DS game
for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's running 900p, and then on the Pro, it's getting 1080p. And
this is what I'm talking about, man. With fucking Japanese developers, Battlefield 1 runs at 1080p dynamic on fucking PS4. You telling me Kingdom Hearts, Mickey Mouse, and that shit can't run 1080p?
It's a 3DS game.
Well, PlayStation. Well, they've remixed, quote unquote, remixed Kingdom Hearts fucking 50 times. Yeah.
I looked at because I've never played the Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah,
I'm just not with the Fruit Loop characters and shit. You know what I mean? But I was asking T Reaper, that weird old motherfucker, P Reaper, buys every goddamn thing. And I was asking him how are the graphics. He's like, yeah, it's in 1080p. I mean, what the fuck? So I looks at the actual game. It looks like a PS Vita game. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? So you know what's? I'm gonna say this, and I'm before we get that love out of here. You know what? I games like that. When I'm talking about the meat and potatoes, like if I was an Xbox guy, my Xbox. I'm sorry. If we had games like that, we probably do. I just like Rating 5 came out. I love those little bullshit games, but you will never see me put that on my list of exclusives. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't do it. Like, you know, or Ori and the Blind Forest got a retail copy release. You wouldn't see me put that on my list of exclusives. You know what I mean? Because, or Max or Curse of the Brotherhood or Crimson Dragon and shit like that. You will never see me put that on my list of exclusives. Now, if you want to count Uncharted, I give you that. If you want to count MLB The Show, fuck it, I give you that. I even fucking give you DLC for fucking the Uncharted, you know, that's coming out.
You don't give them that fucking DLC, or we would have counted Storm Island or Storm Mountain and Blizzard Mountain and shit for Forza and all this shit.
But I will give them that besides that goddamn Kingdom Hearts Remix 2.8.
I mean, I say don't give them either because they're both, you know, one's not a fucking game. It's a DLC for an existing game that you can buy by itself. Just, you know, and one is, it's not, I don't know what it is. I'm just not, I'm like you, I'm not into it.
Well, the whole thing I was thinking about that, I was like, damn, yo, these ponies must be like running to GameStop and Best Buy right now because, you know, for the last few years, 900p was absolute dog shit and 1080 was the way to go. So they must all be getting a Pro right now, you know what I'm saying, help bolster the sales of that hardware. At least I hope so. Otherwise, it's just they're hypocritical.
Yeah, 900p is dog shit until you know Star Wars Battlefront on PS4 runs at that, or Battlefield runs at that. You know, like it's dog shit until they got some of those games and they're like, oh, it still looks gorgeous.
Yeah, stupid. Hypocrite. You know what? They're
hypocrite is the word, D.
They're gonna get it hard though, especially if these specs that were leaked today, if these are true. Oh my gosh, they got to go on fucking suicide watch.
And here's the thing I'm getting, man. That's why I emphasize on that 40%. 40% of $10 is $4. 40% of 100 is $40. 40% is 40%. When your base number is a lot bigger, that 40% gain, that delta is much bigger as well. Mm-hmm, so it's not the same 40% between X1 and PS4. It is not. And that's without taking into account the extra 4 gigs, the extra 100 plus gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth that will enable 4K textures and other features. Trust me, it's not a pro. It's none of the stupid shit that these idiots are talking about. And if you want to use Digital Foundry as you like doing, go look at those white documents, watch that video again. They mentioned 4XL2 cache. Pretty much proof that it's not just the Jaguar that's inside the Pro. Or the Xbox One.
All right, we can close with this question right here. We go across the board. The Scorpio comes out, and it's really gonna fucking set the fucking gaming world on fire. Black people finally get their 40 acres in the mule. Shit gonna be set right in the blend of the milk and honey. Will this force Sony's hand to come out with more hardware? Because I was gonna do a video on this, but I didn't. Got sent to me by somebody. To say somebody within the loop again. It was a small article. It was on one of those Taiwanese websites or something. And the president, you know, one of the head honchos over at Sony, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, was like that we may not have seen the last iteration of the quote-unquote PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? That they may be releasing, you know, a PS4 Pro.
Another one? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going to release one with a UHD Blu-ray player, man.
I wouldn't doubt it if it had 2 fucking HDMI.
That probably will happen. That probably will happen.
Dude, I've been saying that. I've been saying that since like E3, this past E3.
That will probably happen, but they're not gonna release a higher spec PS4 Pro. That's not gonna happen to the earliest 2019.
According to the
hey Z, man, you need
Z, your mic went out. We can hear you, but it looks like your mic is off.
No, I'm sorry, I'm here.
I went to go eat dinner.
No, he was saying, according to them, that you know this may not be the last iteration of the Pro that we may see. Now, not as far as them adding a 4K Blu-ray player, you know, more powerful Pro. Like I said, I don't think we're dealing with generations anymore. You know what I mean? As long as they both are x86. Do you think this will force Sony's hand, or they may just ride the Pro out for another 2 years?
They would have to ride it out, because if they were to do this, the fans would react, and they wouldn't trust them anymore. They'd be like, why should I even bother buying a system if you're going to keep releasing them all the time?
The stables are blind, dude. The stables are blind, man. But
they're
the
not
thing,
even buying the Pro now. I mean,
the
that
thing
bitch ain't
is
sold
the
that well.
R&D, man. The R&D will take time anyway. Do you think like the Scorpio is going to come out with straight off the shelf like Ryzen, Vega? No, this shit is going to be optimized. It's going to be customized, and that takes time. So like it could force.
I will say this though, AMD actually is a lot better at their customization now because of the smaller sock, and they're a lot more efficient now. So they can do it a lot. They can do it quicker, but still it takes time.
Yeah,
Well,
drivers are
Scorpio's
night and day now, man.
been planned since like 2013, like end of 2013 or so. Like that's been in the works for that long, and now we have 2017 and it's coming out. So you would have to give it at least like 3 years for another, PS4 0.68729er.
Here's the thing. I just sort of expect Sony to sit back on their hands and just get the shit kicked out on for the next 3 to 4 years.
And they're gonna work on their real estate and insurance. That's what
I mean. They've got enough of a lead with hardware, right? Like I don't think they're really stressing it too much, but people are going to buy this console to check it out. That's for sure.
Yeah, they up 30 million, but like I said, it'll be interesting to see. But with that being said, I'd like to thank my panel that came through. Spur of the moment for your boy. They love them some next gen 720. And let me know what you think in the comments section below. Will D be right with the cuticles and his stocks in AMD this go around?
Maybe they'll release a HBM2 add-on, D.
Yeah. But you know what though? I will say the 12 gigabytes of GDR 5 times is excellent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They got plenty of room to do what they need, plus plenty of bandwidth.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, did you see the updated specs for the fucking Nintendo Switch? Yeah, USB 2.0. Fuck wrong with y'all?
Swag.
Yeah.
That's why iPad's more powerful. But anyway, I'm just saying.
Yo, literally it is.
Hey, yo, D so phony. Yo, D was he was that Obi-Wan in the podcast for a couple weeks. What's going on, everybody?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to me there. I was at a party. Mario, he drugged me. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
it's all right, dude. You fall into these little ruts.
Woke up the next morning, your ass was sore.
We drag you out of these ruts sometimes, D. But it happens.
You drank the Kool-Aid. It's all right.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what? You know what it was. In all honesty, I just didn't think they'd be that stupid to do such a thing, but I was naive, man.
$299 after doing all of that. That's the part.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
You know
like
what,
it wouldn't
brother?
be that big a deal at the current specs if it was $199. Like maybe.
Yeah. The price was $200. It'd be fine. We wouldn't be talking about it in a negative light. That's for sure.
Hell no.
But again, like I said, man, I thought it would be different with you because my brother, my black brother. I told you this from a very reliable source.
Yeah.
The goddamn thing is very underpowered. You ain't gonna believe me, bro. You cursed me out about them goddamn cuticles.
That Skyrim though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Man, I'm still struggling to believe that picture is real.
No, that's real.
That had to be like the first like texture pop.
Like,
the textures are loading in or something.
Bro, I don't know what pop in it was, but that's real.
It's a textures loading in.
The textures are probably loading in.
That's real.
They look like they were missing a chromosome.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I just can't, man. I can't support them. I can't give them any money anymore. I'm sorry, man.
I think that was before they did the snap on the Switch. That was pre-snap. They had to snap and then switch. It was switched to the proper.
That is shit, man. That's before the latest dev kits, man. But listen, oh shit, man. Question before we go: are you guys enjoying Resident Evil? Good game.
Good game.
Yeah, it's a good game, and if you're on the fence,
terrifying in VR. Oh my gosh!
I can't see. Look, man. If it was in third person, I would be there. But the fact that it's in first person, and I got the reflexes of a 95-year-old man, and I'm suffering from PTSD. No, sir, it will not end well for me.
Man, I think you should give it a shot, bro. Because seriously, like after the first hour, you won't even think about the perspective.
I'm a bitch ass nigga, and I'm already scared, right?
Well, you got shotguns and shit, though. You know, you got a knife.
I gotta say that game, it brings me back, gives me the feeling that the original Resident Evils gave me, but yet in a new way. This is like a new experience that us gamers wanted. Like, take something old and make it new again, and they totally did that with Resident Evil. I'm really enjoying it.
Third person though. I wish they come up with a patch or update or something.
It's scarier for first person, man.
I
Yeah,
don't want
At least pull a Sony fanboy and red box it, bro.
But it is what it is, man. I'm about to finally hop on my Xbox, so if you guys want to meet me over there, we could. But thank you guys for swinging by and rocking out with us XBots of the community. We catch you guys on whatever tomorrow. XBot, your show, the Next Level podcast.
Next podcast, yes sir, 6 p.m. man.
D will be out there churning butter. And,
yeah, you guys can catch me at D Batch on YouTube and Gemini 002.
Yeah, we know where the
on
fuck
Twitter.
we can catch you, goddammit.
Motherfuckers.
You ain't no Pokemon.
Pikachu.
Send your prayers and wishes for my man Pete Reaper's in the hospital right now.
Is he really?
Catheter. Yeah, he got a catheter. He's
Get
out of this bitch.